episode more to be about showing mad love for the 2K streams, especially since a month ago is when we hit 1K. So that's mad love. Kind of give a small update about what's going to happen moving forward because I think it's best for us now to start the hiatus since also could be due, like you said, as early as the 11th.
As early
And
as
that's
today, low key.
okay. So yeah, it makes sense for us to start the hiatus now. Tell them that we'll still be putting out content, especially Emmanuel, just because you have your NFL picks and college picks. We can still like maybe make a graphic of that and then or just a notes and then just use that and post it on social media so people can still keep up to date on that. And me and Osan talked about it. We'll also promote past episodes on our social medias. Um, then we'll just I mean we can talk about the 3-1 lead if you want to in regards to the Lakers. We can give some love to Seattle. We can talk about the NFL situation in terms of COVID or the benching of Dwayne Haskins and then just go into rumor mill. Um, Fantasy update for sure, for sure. Uh, and that's about it. Yeah, send me a screenshot of those final scores. Um,
It's
if you
lit.
can.
Oh, what's up, Steven?
What's good, Steven?
There's nothing like a good old
Appreciation.
fantasy update. Although I don't
Oh.
necessarily want to,
I
you know.
mean, the last unbeaten had to fall at some point. I'd rather not go the Patriots route and then lose in the finals. Get that loss out the way now. Go ahead and start that intro.
Hit him with the intro. Freeze.
Appreciation.
Hey,
Modube. Onibuore
hey.
baba bope mi. Appreciation. Modupe. Onibuore baba bope mi. Just want to say a
We
big, big thank
thank
you.
God and we thank all of y'all
For real, for
for
real.
tuning in, not just to this episode, but to all the episodes.
All
Okay?
of
All of them.
them.
Y'all say why? Why? Because we out here, we are not NBA, but we got 2K.
Right.
Okay. On the stream
We
lane.
got
Okay.
2K. Ratings is
Yo,
not an issue for us at all. It
no
may be an issue
95,
for the
no
other
99.
sports.
We good. We good.
We get it done. So mad love, mad love, mad love to just everyone who's been rocking with us. Just recently, like Osahan said, we hit 2K streams. A month ago, we hit 1K. So it's just crazy the growth. That's love, yo. That's real love. And that being said, it's interesting because we started off as Osohan and the Oso. I keep,
It's
yo,
okay.
when Oso
You might as well
arrives, we
start practicing.
replacing you.
That's it. You gonna X that Osa out and just put that
Yeah,
O.
we replacing you with Oso. But the Osa and Abe show when it started out in January, we was mad hype because it was just an additional podcast to the family of the SSAW podcast, and we had the luxury of meeting in person. We pulled up to Cecil, our producer's crib, on what was it? Was it Thursday nights or Wednesday nights? I think Thursday or
It
Wednesday
started out
nights.
Wednesday afternoons, then we moved to Thursday nights, and it was
Yeah.
we was
So,
messing up all kind of electric bills. Praise
yo,
God.
we was running them jaws up high with the because of all the equipment that was running. But it was mad cool because we got to do something unique. We got to meet in person, record in person, just audio, and it truly, truly, truly helped elevate our game because it just flowed better. The chemistry just fit better rather than how we was on the fifth quarter. Me sounding like I'm underwater in a tunnel near the center of the earth trying to talk to y'all. Um, and interesting enough, after we started, we went on a hiatus because Jaden, aka Jaws, was brought to the world. And today with pleasure, with extreme pleasure, we announced that we will be going on another hiatus because my partner Osahan is about to welcome his first child. Also, the Nigerian boy wonder. That's his nickname. We out here giving nicknames to everybody.
Wow, the boy wonder. Are we
The
digging into
Nigerian boy wonder.
crates? That's hey.
He's
That's
due any minute now. Any minute.
Any
now.
minute, y'all.
Like,
any minute.
We're lucky to even record today because honestly, he might just the missus might have to call you right now and be like, "Hey,
listen." She goes in 2 hours at this time, this recording. She goes in 2 hours from the appointment. They could tell her, listen, it's go time. So this is the last hurrah. This is our 2-minute drill right now. And we getting this out the way. But like Abe said, so appreciative for all of y'all who've tuned in, who shared, who tuned in live on Wednesdays. We know it's an interesting, hour, 2 p.m. on a Wednesday to drop in. But thank you for all of you, your contributions, questions, commentary. Like I said, for sharing it. It's been growth over these past since January, seeing the growth, especially when we decided to make the switch and move from the fifth quarter to Osa and Abe. And it has been a journey, and we have had our adjustments, our changes. We've had special guests. Shout out to the special guests that we've had on. Shout out to Jeff J over at Bleacher Report. Holla at him. Great content. Shout out to the homie Izu. Check him out live with Izu if you on any social media, and his company Riches and Saints. If you need some social media help, let me tell you. Shout out to Dolapu Balogun, okay, and Shop Dillies. Okay, I just got my fresh piece from the last Sunday morning drop. Check her out as well. And of course, our most recent guest, Cedric Dale Horde, therapist, dropped Jewels and Gems. And we are looking forward to, on the other side of our hiatus, bringing more great guests for you guys to connect with and to introduce you guys to, because more than us just doing what we do here, it's our pleasure, our privilege to be able to bring to the forefront and use a platform to help platform individuals who are really making change and impact in their spaces and in their spheres of influence. And of course, thank you to our producer who's behind the scenes. Y'all can't hear, you see the magic that he puts on. And of course, to the third member of this trifecta, of this triangle offense, the man with the lines, the stats, and all the crazy rumors, Baba Funke.
Yes, indeed. Much appreciated, man. I appreciate
that episode. I'm definitely going to promote the episode when we gave him the name of Baba Funke. That was an ASMR episode.
That was so wild. This man, the way this man disappeared from the face of the planet, okay, and then just all of a sudden reappeared. This man, if they make The Hangover Part 4, it has to be about whatever you did on your birthday week. Because person report. I was gonna file a missing persons report. We didn't know where you were. All of a sudden, one day we just saw, looking in the chat and someone's just liking everything. You just came out the blue and started liking everything, but stuff that was like a month old. And then next thing you know, we pulled out that goblet of chin chin, and this dude said, "Oh, chin chin? What you know about chin chin?" That was the day. That was the day.
Chin chin and foo foo, man.
It was ridiculous. But nah,
and the red sauce, man.
Yo, that jerky. They called it jerky, but it's really suya.
Yeah,
that
suya.
Bomb. I need to go back.
We need to go back and re-up while we on hiatus. But yeah, it's been good. It's crazy though. Yeah. We're heading out on hiatus, but essentially we're heading out on hiatus on the verge of like some championship watch. Last night, the Seattle Storm clinched I think it's their 5th title. Shout out to Sue Bird, best point guard in the women's game. GOAT, point goddess, right? Not point god, point goddess, okay? 17 years in between her winning her first title with the Storm and this title that they just won. Dynasty for sure. I would say they're probably the 2nd greatest dynasty in the WNBA. We'll go number 1. Definitely has to be that Houston Comets team that just ran the league that first 4 seasons, technically 5. They were, I mean, that's untouchable. Number 2 would be the Storm. And number 3, I would definitely give to the Detroit Shock. They did their thing. Bill Laimbeer, arguably, if the Aces win another title in the next year or 2, Bill Laimbeer enters the conversation, I'd say, as number 2 greatest coach in WNBA history behind Vance Chancellor. So shout out to that. Lakers, won game 4 of their series, so they're a win away. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know what group chat I put it in, but I said, I think it was Sunday night's game. I in whatever group, I'm in a million group chats, but I put in one of them. I said, listen, the Miami Heat are winning this game tonight for one reason. This is before the game's kicked off. For one reason, Jimmy Butler. He's not going to let them get swept. So here we are, gentlemen's sweep coming on Friday night. Tune in. Y'all already know what's going to happen. Lakers, go ahead and get that gentleman's sweep. Someone said, what about the Minnesota Lynx? Oh, the Lynx are in that conversation. I put links. Yeah, you know what? I'll put Lynx ahead of Detroit. I'll put Lynx ahead of Detroit, especially because of that team that they had is an arguably all-time great. Like if NBA 2K has, all-time great WNBA teams like they do with the NBA, that Lynx team, Simone Augustus, Katie Smith, Maya Moore, those 3 right there are Hall of Famers, first ballot Hall of Famers. So that's, the Minnesota Lynx, we could throw them in that conversation. It's looking like we're going to end up with the World Series showdown of the Yankees and the Dodgers. Hopefully both teams hold up their end of the bargain. That's going to be one for the ages. It would have been great to have Lakers Celtics and then Dodgers Yankees. Can you I don't know what we would have been in sports euphoria in heaven if that had been the case, but a certain green team can hold up their end of the bargain. But that's okay.
If that happened,
that's okay.
It would have ruined friendships, dog. I'm telling you right now, friendships would have been ruined. Because right. I would have been petty. It would have ruined friendship. So.
I talk reckless off the mic. Off the mic, it would have got reckless in some chats. So
look, at this point, we'll be tied up at 17. The quest to first to 18 starts next season. Let's get hype.
Let's get hype for it. What were you about to say, E-Man?
I'm gonna re up on a bold prediction I made earlier. So just to remind people, it's about baseball. So.
Here we go. Okay.
Oh,
so, I think those are
what you said.
Yeah. This I think that's all the championships we're looking at right now.
Can I say what you said?
No, hold on. No, wait.
All right.
No, I'll wait. I'll wait if you want to wait.
And then hold on, we got one more. Oh wait, no, we're not on watch for college football. That's all we know is LSU is not repeating. That's all we need to know. Outside of that,
no, we not. we definitely not.
If there's a bowl game, they're gonna be in one of those unnecessarily the Tax Slayer Gator Humble Street Bowl. That's what they gonna make.
We'll probably still make a New Year's 6 bowl, but we're not making deep.
Oh man! Right now. So yeah, we on championship watch. So folks, stay tuned for some of that. We really don't have anything else for y'all except for the rumor mill. Take them to the rumor mill.
Facts.
Oh,
no rumor mill intro.
Technical difficulties, apparently.
Technical difficulties. No rumor mill intro. I just want a rumor mill intro.
What's poppin'? Brand new whip, just hopped in. I got options. I can pass that it's like Stockton. Just joshing. I'm spending this holiday locked in. My body got rid of them toxins. Sports in the top 10.
right, for the rumor mill. I don't know if you guys heard this earlier in the week. I think this happened. They mentioned it yesterday. Clippers star Kawhi Leonard, he tried to originally recruit Jimmy Butler to come to the Clippers before Paul George, obviously because Paul George would have been a little bit more difficult in terms of a trade because Jimmy Butler and Kawhi were both free agents at the time. So obviously there was rumors about this earlier, so this one didn't really surprise me in terms of that. With that as well. Now, I mentioned the Bucks. They're really pursuing James Harden in the offseason, which I don't know if this is going to happen. In terms of that, the Knicks are going after everybody. They want Victor Oladipo to go. I'm going to switch to NFL real quick. This was kind of like a breaking news. They said that reportedly was about J.J. Watt led a player revolt against O'Brien being fired. Yes, I'm gonna read this. All right, it's like a little mini article.
Wait, he wanted to save his job?
No, he wanted him to get basically rid of O'Brien. So I'm gonna read
he was the ringleader. Okay, I was about to say you wanted him. You wanted to keep him. Oh, you can go too, JJ.
Now I'm gonna read. This is gonna be real quick. ESPN Houston's John Granado reports J.J. Watt had a heated exchange with Bill O'Brien that led to the player revolt and ended up getting O'Brien fired. What called out O'Brien's coaching ability ahead of last week's game against the Steelers that created pushback from other veterans, and the winless Texans made a decision to move on from the loss. O'Brien has reportedly clashed with DC Anthony Weaver and had well-known power struggles with EVP Jack Easterbay and the ex-GM Rick Smith. Houston made the playoffs 4 of the last 6 seasons and had a 52% winning percentage under O'Brien. But the fallout from this firing could make it hard for him to make him hard for him to land another job in regards to this, because he's been clashing with some people from the front office, and then the owner was like, okay, well, since you have some type of vision with the team, which was the downfall of it, let him become GM. And obviously, to me, it really started with the DeAndre Hopkins trade, and let's be real. That really technically started because you even saw Texans players tweeting about this and putting like emojis on their tweet. This was pretty obvious. It really started from there and it went downhill. And I feel sad for Deshaun Watson because he got the extension, but the question is what direction they're going to go. I like Romeo Crennel, obviously former Patriots defensive coordinator under Bill Belichick. I did like him as a coach. I didn't feel like he didn't really get a fair shot in the beginning, but
most black coaches know.
Yeah, exactly, which is a good thing. But I just hope he gets his fair shot this time with the Texans and see what he could do. Right now, obviously he has the quarterback now compared to what he had in the past when he was coaching the Texans. Let's just be real. So, what are you guys' thoughts on that with that whole situation?
Listen, that D-Hop trade was it. I remember when that trade went down. That was, I think, that first Monday when, all the stay-at-home orders were going out and people panicking, going to grocery stores trying to buy stuff up. So here I am cruising around town trying to find some rice. And so I stepped out of I stepped out of a Cardenas. That's what it was. And I think it was the group chat for this group is blowing up. Did they really trade DeAndre Hopkins? CJ, the Godfather over there talking about, man, I guess I might as well get ready for Bill O'Brien to get fired so I can step in that role. And then I saw the actual trade. They really traded DeAndre Hopkins for a pack of hot Cheetos, Top Ramen, and a half-used pack of Newports. I was disgusted. That was the day I thought Bill O'Brien's getting fired before after the first game of the season. So the fact that he lasted this long into the season, good riddance. He's probably going to land a job somewhere. They can act like he's not going to, but he's probably going to land a job somewhere.
Unfortunately. And Michael Florio from Pro Football Talk, you're a clown for posting that stupid tweet about why should he get fired and things like that. He should have. They had a tough schedule early on. Okay, the offense was super vanilla on the home opener against Kansas City. It was a super vanilla, no creativity whatsoever. The offense had nothing. And then Duke Johnson was the only bright spot of that team. Will Fuller, he's still getting his solid amount of targets, but y'all still ain't protecting Deshaun Watson. He's one of the top quarterbacks in the league getting hit. And that's
he's
why
running for his life.
Yeah, he's running for his life. And that's the reason why Deshaun Watson's at one of the top highest injury projection rate, because of the amount of times he gets hit. And you expect and trading DeAndre Hopkins, you think it's going to solve it better? Man, have several seats.
Yeah, Watson is getting that early rush treatment that Wilson faced in Seattle, except he had a top 3 wide receiver that was then shipped away for an aging, injury-prone running back and cash considerations, I think it was. I mean, it's just poor management on Bill O'Brien's part, and it's not leading them to wins. You don't sell off one of your best offensive pieces, especially
one of the best in the league.
Yeah, one of the best in the league, especially if you're not doing it to at least bolster up that O-line, which needed serious help. Like, if he had done that, then, it would have made more sense. Because it's saying, all right, we're focused on protecting the quarterback. We know we have talent elsewhere. We know Deshaun can get it done, but we need to protect him. So we're unfortunately going to have to let Hopkins go. And we're going to bring in some offensive linemen that can really solidify and make us better. If that had happened, we'd probably have a different conversation. Because the offense would still be potent, Yeah, when you have a talent like Deshaun Watson back there, you have Will Fuller, who, when healthy, was a great number 2 to Hopkins. You have Brandon Cooks, who can, even though he's been bouncing around for several teams, he's always been putting up 1,000+ yards the last 4 years straight. So you have talent there, and fortunately, DJ has shown some bright spots, and a solid O-line would just make that much better. But instead, you didn't do that. You got yourself another running back, didn't address the O-line at all. Defense
Hold on, though.
Didn't improve either.
Cooks was the Hopkins replacement because they picked him up. I think they traded for him later that day after the Hopkins trade. So it's not you already had Cooks. No, you went ahead and got Cooks. It's like, oh, here's the replacement. Come on, man.
It's like, oh, that's not the same thing.
You try to replace Wagyu with Sizzler steak. Don't do that. Come on, man.
Right.
I love Cooks, but that's not the same at all. Like that. To even try to sell that off. So it makes sense that J.J. Watt did this. I'm surprised that we haven't heard rumors of his lack of mistrust or displeasure before today, to be honest. But they made the right move. It's still early enough in the season where changes can be made to help them take a right step forward, but they know that for them to tank, it's not beneficial at all, since their first and second round picks belong to Miami. And, Miami isn't winning games like that either, but they're at least competing.
And they're a team
haven't been blown out yet.
Yeah, they haven't, but they're a team to watch out in terms of their picks, because they have a lot of assets for the next few years, believe it or not.
Oh, big facts. So, good on J.J. Watt. I'm pretty sure when Bill O'Brien got fired, it was funny because everybody was expecting Hopkins to clown him or to throw subs, and all he said was, "I never wish failure upon no man." And I was like, that's respectful. That's to the point. That's all you need to say. Shout out to DeAndre Hopkins for being humble and for focusing on what's at hand.
Class act.
Yeah,
right.
Class act.
Yes, indeed. Now we're going to switch back to the NBA, mainly for the Denver Nuggets. Denver Nuggets are expected to make an attempt to trade for Pelicans point guard /2, if possible, Drew Holiday. So I don't know if this is going to work. You have Jamal Murray, and you have Gary Harris, and Will Barton's coming back off an injury.
So the probably going to give up Gary Harris.
In my opinion,
that's the only way I see that trade working.
The same issue the Celtics have in terms of having too many guards, I feel like that's the same issue with Denver. They have they have too much depth. And
they have too much depth on the wings. That's what it is.
Yeah. So they have too much depth on the wings. We have too much depth at the guard position. But in my opinion, I mean, yeah, you got to move Gary Harris for sure. But Jamal and Drew would be a nice combo because even Drew said he doesn't want to play the 1. He doesn't. He wants to play the 2. He preferred that because I remember that a few seasons ago when AD was still on the Pelicans, it's like Drew's like, nah,
he's not a natural 1. He is more of a 2.
It's James. You made that's a great point. They have too much guards they can't guard. That's a great point.
Gary Harris is the only guard who can actually guard. That's why he's the reason why that series, as much as they say Jamal Murray balled out against the Jazz, it was really, if you watch it, when Gary Harris came in, he was the game changer because he was injured those first 2 games. He came in and was able to play to D up on Mitchell because otherwise Jamal Murray was going to get dragged by Mitchell that entire series.
So all you're doing is just basically swapping a younger defender for an older, more established defender.
Right, who
I think is a better scoring threat than Gary Harris. I think I would say that's where the edge exists, but it doesn't really address the overall issue. Which, in my opinion, Denver doesn't have an issue. It's just they just got to take that next step forward. You know, Jamal Murray.
It's a win right now trade. It's a win right now trade. That's what it is. Because you're going to get maybe 2 seasons out of Holiday before he makes a decision to say, especially with family, he's a family man. I could see him making a decision after a season or 2 with the team saying, if this trade happens, saying, I'm going to hang it up, go love my family.
Right. Another one for Denver. The Nuggets, they're saying, supposedly there's rumblings about they will likely re-sign Jeremy Grant. And this is the estimated numbers for the contract. 4 years, around that range. So, in terms of him signing back to Denver, 4 years, what? 64 million. 64 million.
So he's getting that. He's getting that Timofey Mozgov, Luol Deng money. Got it.
Supposedly, but this is being projected somewhere in that range. That's.
This not that he can't play, okay?
Right.
He when he was with the Thunder, right? He was with the Thunder before.
Yeah.
He showed shades of this. So what he was able to do in the bubble, great. But essentially, you're giving him that money for what he did in the bubble. I got to give him one more season before I even think about committing that kind of money to him.
No,
the problem, though, because of the pandemic, we're going to see a lot of money flying around. In my opinion, like, we're going to see some ridiculous contracts in order to acquire players, but overall, I feel like we won't see anything too big, like Bismack Biyombo big, because that one was just off that 26 rebound game in the playoffs. That's really why he got cashed out. Hasn't done anything since then. That'd be interesting, though. I don't.
We said it. I think we said it last week. What we're going to see this offseason is going to look like 2016 all over again, where these guys who are, yes, great role players, like James is saying here, Trez, like they're going to get ridiculous contracts all because they had a good spurt of games or a good game or two, not because of any long sustained productivity. Lakers better not make a move like that. I'm gonna cry.
But honestly, this was kind of a trend, especially when the salary cap rise. I had a feeling this was going to happen. I told people, like, you're going to see role players being overpaid. It's not necessarily the stars. It's going to be a trend, and we saw that over the last few years. And I believe you're going to see this.
And that is if the Celtics try to go for Trez and overpay for him. I'm going to have a serious issue.
Will you be mad if they give him a 4-year, $64 million?
If they want him, period.
So if
I hear any desire for Trez, it's like, why?
3 years,
nothing.
3 years, $45 million.
He's not necessary to our team at all.
3 years, $45 million for Trez.
He's not necessary to the team. He shouldn't be offered. We shouldn't call him up. We shouldn't even look at him. We shouldn't even think about him.
They gonna throw that's what they gonna throw at him. They gonna throw 3 years, $45 million, and the best dread stylist in the Boston area to keep him looking right, so we don't look like Kawhi.
Ainge gonna have me tweeting at him.
I'm here for it.
Yo, dog, what's up?
You bring up a good point, Emmanuel, talking about salary cap rise because I think it was this season this upcoming off season was supposed to be the off season where that was going to happen anyways because of the TV money that was going to come in. That's why guys like AD didn't sign long term because they were waiting for that TV money to bump so they could get a little extra in the pocket. So it was bound to happen. How much of an effect COVID has on it, I don't think it's going to be as much as in other sports like soccer, but we are bound to see some players get overpaid. James is saying that Montrezl Harrell is going to get $100 million offer from the Boston Celtics. Continue.
Okay. Obviously, I don't know if you guys heard about the Nets. Supposedly they're looking to pursue Paul George to try to complete that whole big three. Now, from what I'm hearing, Kawhi Leonard's untouchable. The front office may be interested in sitting Karis LeVert, Spencer Dinwiddie, Jared Allen in exchange for George.
That they're going to be the West Coast Raptors. That's all they're going to be. West Coast Raptors.
Yeah. I mean,
think about it. Think about it. The only difference is you don't have if they keep Patrick Beverly, he's essentially no offense Kyle Lowry. A Karis LeVert. Dinwiddie is essentially a taller Fred VanVleet. Karis LeVert, what role does he fill? Maybe like a better Norman Powell. We know what Jared Allen is. No jumper Serge Ibaka. So you get another piece or two that which the Clippers will probably be able to attract because for some reason folks like I guess Steve Ballmer and whatever they end up doing in the coaching space. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I'm saying Western Conference Raptors. That's what they're trying to do to build around Kawhi. If Paul George gets shipped out, what's that? His fifth team?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Indy, Thunder, Clips. Oh, fourth team, but still.
Yeah.
PG.
Yeah. Now, Joe Harris, obviously he's a free agent.
Another one who's going to get overpaid.
Yeah, I agree with you in terms of that. Now they're saying
don't even need to mention Joe Harris.
Okay.
He's staying in Brooklyn. Like he himself said it. It'd be stupid for Brooklyn to get rid of like one of the best 3-point shooters, in the league. Like it'd be ridiculous. So I'm not even gonna entertain that. If it happens,
Timeout. Philly didn't re-sign JJ Redick, so anything is possible.
It's true. That's true. But like, dang, this is for Brooklyn. It's like, yo, you're giving them a spot up shooter to pair alongside Kyrie, KD, LeVert. Like, in my opinion, those are your 4 untouchables. Everybody else is up for grabs.
Yeah.
And I agree, James. I mean, I thought he opted in, or he says he will.
If Gordon Hayward opts out, where does he go?
Well, if he opts out, there's a possibility that it's to restructure the contract so it's more favorable for us. But if he doesn't, and it's funny you mentioned that because yesterday he was just voted best teammate in the NBA apparently.
Why you say apparently? Like you don't believe it?
I mean, it just seems like a weird award to have because it's like, well, how many teams can speak on like, oh yeah, he's a great teammate, you know? For his case, only 2 teams can speak on that. However, or I think it was just the Celtics who voted him best teammate, which is cool. But if he were to go elsewhere, who needs a wing? You know, who's willing to give Hayward that chance? Because that's the thing. You know, it's not like he can't produce. It's just a matter of he hasn't been healthy enough ever since the freak injury. He just had a series of issues since then. Which team is comfortable enough to be like, hey, we have the money and we can use you?
I think he should go back to the West. Call me crazy. I think he should go back to the West. Go to a team with some young, hungry Bulls.
Go to Indiana.
And
Memphis?
No, go to back home.
Memphis, Indiana. Those are 2 good options. I'm not opposed to those.
I feel like if he was to leave the Celtics, he would want to go closer to home. So I think the Pacers would be.
That's fair.
But
that's the reason why.
That's fair.
The problem is then, isn't it basically you're just swapping Oladipo for Hayward, and they have similar situations in terms of
If
the
Depot
injury history, and they're both going to cost money, you know?
Right, and it's funny you mentioned. I mentioned it last week about the potential trade between those two. So I mean, Hayward will be playing closer to home and going back home basically, and Oladipo to the Celtics. So I mean,
sign and trade, huh?
Sign and trade. That's a possibility.
We don't need Oladipo.
I know that's
this is crazy. Funny y'all gonna get Oladipo. Y'all gonna overpay for Trez. I love to see it.
Relax.
Meanwhile, you got one of the best young big man talents in the league that you ain't even
Robert
using.
Williams.
No, and Taco Fall. Stop it. Every day is Taco Tuesday.
I'm fine if we use him like a Boban role in like Boban is used in Dallas. I'll be fine with that in Taco. But for me, it's to give Robert Williams continued run this postseason. I mean, it's not even. There are certain players who balled out in the bubble where you're like, all right, that's bubble exclusive, a la T.J. Warren, for example, because he went MIA once the playoffs started. But Robert Williams has shown us that type of game ever since he came to the league. It's just a matter of him not getting enough burn. So my hope is that next year, you know, he gets more minutes. I would love to see him average 20 minutes a game, to be honest. I would love it. Whether it's off the bench or in the starting role, I would love for him to average 20 minutes a game because his defensive IQ is there. He affects the game defensively. Offensively, yeah, he's limited, but you can work with that. Pick and roll situations, lobs. There's ways around that for sure. So we'll see.
Yeah, most definitely. And also, there's a rumor about obviously Doc got the position. Congrats to him being the head coach for the Philadelphia 76ers. Now there are some
to lose to the Celtics 4 times a year now. I love it. I'm here for it.
But now it seems there's rumors out there that he wants to draft LaMelo Ball, number one with the number 1 pick in the draft. So, but he wants to put an offer to Minnesota and trade Ben Simmons to the Timberwolves in exchange for a number 1 pick in the draft. What do you guys think about this one? Could LaMelo be in Philly?
So I guess he's looking for the Ball and Embiid combo. It works because I don't know if I would say that LaMelo has the same court vision and playmaking skills as Ben Simmons. I won't say that, but he for sure won't be afraid to shoot it. He for sure won't be afraid to attack the basket, pull up from anywhere, and that's honestly, in my opinion, what's holding Philly back is the fact that Ben Simmons isn't a scoring. You know, when you face him, it's like, all right, we can play off him. He's at the 3-point line. We can sag off him. We don't need to press him. We don't need to play up close. We don't need to play tight. Whether I don't know though, because aside from that, you still need to surround yourself with shooters, which is the issue that they have. Adding one shooter isn't going to solve your issues, especially when that shooter isn't the most efficient anyway. You know, LaMelo's not a threat that can hit 40 plus % from the field. He's more of a 30 to 35%. The thing is, he could still probably average 20 because he's going to put up a lot of attempts and he'll likely do a good job of getting to the line. But all these moves are just replacing one with the same thing and maybe having a slight upgrade. It's nothing so far. Nothing has been said that's like, yo, that's a perfect fit. That's definitely gonna take him over the top. So it's gonna be an interesting offseason for sure.
LaMelo's averaging, I think, 21% from 3, the Australian League. When I saw this potential, I thought this dude Doc is just trying to. He's just trying to get LaMelo, hoping LaMelo's a better version of one of his sons, maybe. That's really what it feels like. Hoping he's a better version of one of his 3 sons. I think Doc's youngest son is at UC Irvine right now. But that's just where my brain went when I saw it. Don't call me crazy. That's where my brain went. LaMelo, I think LaMelo should. maybe he should go to a big market. No, LaMelo should go to a smaller market, and after his rookie contract is up, should go to a big market. Even though he's been exposed to more of the limelight and had more time to adjust to that than his brothers did, and he is the most talented out of all three of the Ball brothers. I don't think it's a good move to trade up to get him. No.
Well, we assume he goes top 3, so that leaves.
It's going to happen. Yeah, we know he's going top 3.
I say Charlotte.
I think Charlotte's the best move. Listen, here's what I think happens. Listen, go to Charlotte and let Michael Jordan bully you. I use that term playfully in practice, okay? Learn from the GOAT. Don't do what Lonzo did and got uptight when Kobe asked him how his post game is. All Kobe was asking about Lonzo's post game was because he said, listen, you're 6'6". Ain't no point guards out here who are 6'6". You can body and bully these dudes on the block because you can't just pass all day. There's going to come a time where you're going to need to get your own shot and the team's going to need to rely upon you for scoring. He got uptight about it. LeVar came up and got uptight about it. Listen, LaMelo, hopefully you go to Charlotte. Let MJ teach you a fadeaway. Let MJ teach you that footwork in the post. Boy, 6'8" LaMelo running point guard with that Michael Jordan footwork. Some of you are like, calm down right now. No. Let him learn from the best.
Yeah. And I want to see LeVar Ball play one-on-one with Jordan.
That's the other reason why.
Just for entertainment. Just for pure entertainment.
Jordan, you know what Jordan's going to do? He's going to play one-on-one with a cigar in his mouth. That's how disrespectful Michael Jordan is. He play LeVar one-on-one with a cigar in his mouth, blowing the smoke in his face with every fadeaway.
Oh my gosh. That was a good one.
That game needs to be streamed live as well.
Yeah. Now, with we were talking about salary cap earlier on with Osa. Now they're saying that was an update. They're saying that the NBA is estimated they're losing $200 million due to the China fallout of this past season. So that could impact the salary cap. $200 million is a lot of money impacted from that fallout.
That's substantial, there.
Yeah, that's substantial. Yeah, $200 million.
Everybody looking at
expected fallout from
China right now.
So, yeah, exactly. So we'll see what happens in terms of that. I'm gonna give a little bit more of an update for tomorrow with the injury reports in regards with the Bucks and the Bucks and Bears, right? For tomorrow, Mike Evans and Scotty Miller are questionable for tomorrow. Leonard Fournette, his ankle, he's doubtful, and Chris Godwin and Justin Watson are ruled out. So. I think
Brate season.
Yeah, Brate's gonna be the tight end too behind Gronk, especially with OJ Howard tore his Achilles. Yeah. So I mean, this is but they still had depth at tight end. So they're the deepest tight end group in football in the NFL. So that's not surprising. And also, you guys want to do the fantasy update before I do the picks real quick? Yeah.
We come with sad news. The last unbeaten is unbeaten no more. It had to happen at some point. Shout out to Ringside Mayhem. The crew over there, they've beaten 2 unbeatens in the last 2 weeks, so they're the giant slayers of the league right now.
They're the king slayers. They're a team of Seth Rollins. That's what they are.
Yeah, and to be honest, it wasn't a close one. They put up 200 on us, and we was at like 140. We still have players to go, but we was
yeah.
Yahoo said you have a 2% chance of winning. I was like, so there's a chance. There's still a chance. But no, we got our butts whooped. But here's the updated standings after 4 games. Number 1 in the league is still Osa and Abe. We lead the league in points too. Just
do it for the 9.
We're 3-1. Rock Kobe, shout out to Rock on Obi. They're 3-1. Ringside Mayhem, like I said, they've been giant slayers the last 2 weeks. They're also 3-1. Diamond Talk, 2-2. Craft Factory, 2-2. King of Fantasy, what's up, James? Y'all are 2-2. Sportshead Radio, 2-2. That's the team that has no owner, but it's still doing well.
I don't think that's crazy.
Hey, Josh Allen on that team, by the way. He on the team. Auto drafted.
Godfather offer.
Yeah, auto drafted.
Hey, good thing too, there's nobody with 0 in the win columns. SSAWHQ, they are 1-3. Cover 0, 1-3. One of those losses came to your boys over here.
Bang bang.
Full Court Press, they got their first win of the season, 1-3. So it's pretty much even across the board. There's no one doing extremely well, no one doing extremely bad. You know, it's pretty. The parity is there. So we'll definitely keep you guys updated on social media if you're watching this, or if you plan on watching this. You see all our social media handles. Definitely keep up to date with us while we're on hiatus. We'll still be providing you content on the social media streams. And yeah, so take it away with the NFL picks and the college football picks.
Before we go, we do play SSAW this week. So
yeah.
By the way,
we play HQ.
Yeah, we play HQ.
I
just wanted to mention that. So
we playing HQ.
We playing HQ. Oh, we playing on Boston.
We playing HQ.
All right. I'm down for that. I'll be messaging CJ constantly, be like, "Hey, how y'all doing, y'all?"
HQ. Welcome to the coup. COU.
Oh, man.
He gonna be on my head if some miracle happens.
We cannot lose. If we lose,
let me leave this down.
I mean, I'm already not going to show my face. We're not showing our face.
Yeah, you're on hiatus.
The hiatus is indefinite if we lose.
Yeah, I'll see you guys next football season.
We not losing to the NFC East.
Yo, CJ, you're the NFC East. I'm dead.
Oh, y'all cover that. All right, you guys, I'm going to get into the college football. I'm going to start off with that. I'm not going to lie. That last week was just horrible. I believe it was like 5 or 6 teams in the top 25 lost last week, if I'm not mistaken. So technically it was a horrible week for
that Baylor game was upsetting.
Yeah.
For various reasons.
I expected more from them. I expected more from them and Auburn, to be honest with you. And Auburn just laid an egg in Athens. I was like, y'all got Bo Nix and this unexperienced quarterback. Georgia just ran the ball all up on you guys. Like, come on now. Anyway,
Bo Nix trash.
Enough said. All right, you guys. I'm gonna start off. I believe the game is tomorrow, Thursday game. Tulane playing at Houston. I believe this is Houston's first game of the year because a couple of their games have been postponed due to COVID. By the way, you know what? They're a 6.5 point favorite. The over-under's at 59.5. I like the over. I'm confident with this one. Give me Houston -6, buying a half point. I think they're going to be anxious and ready to go because they're missing that many amount of games. I got Houston winning, beating Tulane. Tulane can score, though, but they struggle sometimes in the second half. So I think Houston's going to pull it away in the second half. Next one we have, it's a Friday night game. Louisville on the road playing against Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech has not been playing well. They haven't really been covering as well lately. Louisville's a 4.5 point favorite. The over-under is at 64. I'm going to take the under. I'm going to take under 64 and give me Louisville -3 behind a 1.5 hook. I like Louisville on that one. Next one. Louisiana Monroe versus Liberty. Liberty's a 19-point favorite. If I had to choose, I'll take UL Monroe +19. But I'm gonna go safe on this one and take Liberty on the money line. I'm gonna go safe. I'm gonna go because they could score. Next, Oklahoma versus Texas. This loss is lesser because Oklahoma lost last week. Texas has been kind of shaky. Sam Ellinger.
In my opinion, Herman's job is on the line. Depending on the results of this game,
I agree.
Herman's job is on the line.
And the funny thing about that, though, Abe, is that Texas, they're a 2.5 point dog in this game. And historically speaking, in terms of Red River rivalries, I believe it's over 60% of the time the dog has covered in this Red River rivalry. Give me Texas +3. Give me Texas +3. I think they might win outright. Like you said, because his job's on the line. Oklahoma just looks kind of shaky. I like Spencer Rattler, I really do, but the defense they're not playing that well. So give me Texas. I'm gonna get Texas +3. I think that's the value. I'm gonna ride with that. The over and under on that one is at 72.5. I'm definitely taking the under on that one. Definitely. I think that'll probably be my most confident. take the under. Now, if I had to choose, give me Texas +3 based on the historical value of the Red River rivalry. Next, Florida. They're a 7-point road favorite against A&M. A&M is just hot garbage. CJ, I know CJ, he's been confident about Kellen Mond, how garbage he is. Give me Florida. This is like one of my most confident picks. Florida's going to win by at least by 2 touchdowns. Give me Florida -7. I'm confident. I'm taking Florida in this game. And then the over-unders at 57. I'm going to take the over. I'm confident with this Florida team, especially with Pitts being one of the best tight ends. He's actually top 6 in the Heisman battle so far, if not mistaken. So, yeah, I think he's going to have a big game. Next, we have NC State, Virginia. I'm avoiding that game completely. I'm going to be honest with you, but I'll take Virginia money line just to be safe. Virginia's a 9-point favorite, by the way. I'm definitely taking the under at 61 points. Next one, we have South Carolina at Vanderbilt. South Carolina is a 13-point road favorite. I'm leaning towards avoiding this game if I had to choose. Give me Vanderbilt +13 because they've been covering lately. They covered against LSU, if I'm not mistaken. And they're at home. They're a home dog by 13. I like that value. So I might lean towards it, but that's probably where I'm going with it. In the over-unders at 41.5, I'm going to say slightly under. Next one, pretty big game in the ACC outside the one I'm going to mention later. Virginia Tech and North Carolina. Virginia Tech's ranked 19th in the country. Carolina's ranked number 8th in the country. And Carolina has a home game. They're at home. They're a 4.5-point favorite. The over-unders at 59. Give me North Carolina -3 at home against Virginia Tech. I'm gonna take the under at 59 points. I think it's gonna be more defensive than what people believe, especially with Sam Hall being one of the most, been talked up for Heisman at Carolina. Next one, Duke and Syracuse. I'm avoiding. I'll probably take Duke in the money line. Next one, we have Tennessee, and they're ranked 14th in the country with that big win against Missouri. They're playing on the road against Georgia. Georgia is a 12-point favorite. Now, when the line opened on Sunday morning, Tennessee was a 14-point favorite. So people have been jumping on Tennessee hard. Pause. From Monday through till now. Now Tennessee is a 12-point dog. So I told you it's a 2-point difference. So a lot of people are hopping on Tennessee. And I actually like Tennessee, but I'm going to buy the point hook at +13. Give me Tennessee +13. The over-unders at 43. This might surprise you. I'm taking the under on this game. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Next one, we have Texas State. They're playing at Troy. Troy's an 8.5-point favorite. If I had to choose, I'll probably take Troy. They're an 8.5-point favorite. So give me a -8. I'll probably lean towards money line. I'll go money line at 320. And the over-unders at 62. I'm going to go over 62 on that game. Next one, Texas Tech playing at Iowa State. Iowa State's at home. They're a 12.5-point favorite. The over-unders at 64.5. Give me the over. There's going to be some points scored in this game, bro, with Brock Purdy. But I'm going to take Tech if I had to choose. Give me Tech +13 behind the half-point hook. Next one, we have Kansas State. They're playing at TCU. Kansas State's a 9-point dog on the road at TCU. This is probably one of my most confident picks. I like the way Kansas State's really playing right now. Give me Kansas State +10 behind the point hook on that game. Next one, we have Arkansas at Auburn. Auburn's a 14-point favorite at home against Arkansas. I believe Arkansas, they did cover last week, if not mistaken. They did cover. I forgot who they played, but they did cover, and the over-unders at 47.5. I'm going to avoid the over, but give me Arkansas +14 against Auburn. In Auburn, yeah. Another one, we have Pittsburgh at Boston College. Pittsburgh is a 5.5-point road favorite against Boston College. Boston College, they've been pretty much covering the past couple of weeks. Give me Boston College, a home dog, +7. I'm buying a 1.5 hook. And now the over-unders at 44, so I'm going to go slightly over. The game will go slightly over. Next one, we have Alabama at Ole Miss. Alabama's a 24-point favorite. Give me Alabama. They're playing lights out right now. Lights out football right now. A big game. I'm sorry, I skipped one. Florida State. They're playing at Notre Dame. Notre Dame's a 21-point favorite. I'm confident with this one. Notre Dame should cover. Notre Dame should win big. They should win by at least 4 touchdowns. The over-under's at 52, so I'm going to say over on that game as well. And the big game, College Game Day will be there. 4:30 Pacific time, 7:30 Eastern. Miami, the Hurricanes, 7th in the country. DU against Clemson, Trevor Lawrence. And everybody knows I like Trevor Lawrence. I usually root for him, but not this week against my Canes. Not only the Canes, I'm taking them plus 14 confidently. I'm going to take the Canes to outright win this game against Clemson. De'Aaron King, get your Heisman moment, baby. Get the chains on. Give me Miami plus 14, and I'm definitely going to take the under. Over-unders at 63.5, so I'm going to take it under. Now I'm going to take them plus 14. I'm going to take them at a money line parlay and double down on it. Give me Miami, money line.
Okay, all right.
Hey yo. When Funke doubles down, he doubles down, y'all. Listen, I know you've made some bold predictions, but I feel like that is the perfect bold prediction mic drop, and we're gonna head into hiatus on that. But appreciation for the NFL picks. Y'all can tune in. Y'all can check the SSAW group, and we'll throw them up there on Twitter as well. But y'all, we heading off into hibernation, the hiatus, into the cave. We appreciate y'all, like we said, and we can't wait to see y'all on the other side. But y'all know what the drill is, as is our custom here. One thing, 2 words, get it in your brain. Omo night.